Okay, so how are we? How are we doing? And it's a lovely Thursday. Okay, I want to believe that we had a lovely, I'll say, lovely week. You know, so starting from Monday, Tuesday, and today is Thursday, we are moving towards the end of the week, and then a lot of persons are like, I can't wait for Friday. All right, so for you to be in this session today, it means that you are interested in something that we offer here. Okay, and I'm excited to have you here. Trust me, I have actually been waiting for this session because I was like, I can't wait to meet these amazing persons that are going to be joining me on this session today so that we can, learn together, have some, time to catch up and unfold on some amazing concepts and amazing things today. Okay, so before we get right into it, so I want to actually know where you are actually joining us from. All right. I would just want to know where you are joining us from, where I quickly share my screen. So where are you joining us from? So I just want to know where you're joining us from. So you could just type wherever you are, if you're in Nigeria, if you're in the UK, right? So just type in where you are joining us from. Let me know. All right. And then again, if you are a BA in the house, if you know that you're actually a BA, right? Maybe you've learned you've gotten a course somewhere, you've learned it on YouTube or anywhere, you've gone through a course, all right, and you are a BA, right? You have a BA skill one way or the other, okay, whether it's certified or not, but one or two things about BA, right? So I want you to drop BA on the chat as well. All right, so drop BA on the chat as well, and then again drop where you are actually joining us from. Okay, and before we go on, so if you see the comment session, so you're going to see that my colleague is dropping a form there. Please kindly fill the form. It's an attendance form, so that's how you're going to be getting the resources of this particular session. So please ensure that you fill the attendance form. So if you know very well that you want to get the slide, you want to get the recording, as well as the amazing offers that are entangled in this particular session. I'm not going to say it now. All right, so please ensure that you fill the form that my colleague is actually dropping there. Please, this is very, very important. And again, I have an amazing offer. I have an amazing package for you also. Please ensure that you stay to the end of the session. All right. So I wouldn't want any of you to drop off, for any reasons, because we have an amazing package for you and I wouldn't want you to miss that. Okay. But however, ensure you feel the attendance form. It is very, very important. All right. So I didn't see anybody dropping where they're joining us from. I'm still expecting us to do that. And the way I am, I always like calling people's name on this session. So I'm going to be calling your names. All right. And please forgive me if I'm not able to pronounce your native name, correctly. Please pardon me. Okay. So I'm going to be calling Danielle. So Danielle, where are you joining us from? Funke, where are you joining us from? Gloria, where are you joining us from? Ifoma, where are you joining us from? So who am I missing? Olulade, where are you joining us from? Olufunke, where are you joining us from? Oluwa Bukumi, where are you joining us from? So guys, please, let's drop where you're joining us from. Let me know where you are joining us from. So it's always very nice when you know that you're joining a live session like this, and then you have persons from different locations, okay? And I will want to actually know that. I will actually want to know that. Okay, Elua Bukumi says joining from Nigeria. All right, that's nice. So let's let others let us keep that coming. So Daniel says joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, that is nice. So let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming because we are getting into it ASAP. All right. So I know we are expecting more persons to join us, but I know they are going to catch up along the line. All right. So please keep dropping where you're joining us from, right, while we go into what we have for today. So for today's session, right, so we have an amazing thing we're going to be looking at, which is real templates and deliverables that land you a business analyst role. Now, very, very important, right? So you know very well that the essence of you even going into tech, right, you guys, I know that we are in the same page, All right. So the main reason why you're joining is so that you get a job and then start making those cool cash. Whether you want to do it remotely from your house, or you want to do hybrid where you go into the office, a few times in a week, or you want to do full physical presence, which you're going on site, right? So any of it, so far as you are getting the cool cash that comes with being a tech guru, right? I want to believe each and every one of us are in that page. You will not tell me I'm joining because of passion. It's a lie. I am not going to buy that. Yes, yeah, you might like a particular thing, but the main driving force there is when you are actually getting the soft money that comes alongside with it. I want to believe we are in that same page. All right. So in tonight's session, briefly, we are going to be looking at this template as well as the deliverables. So what can I actually do to get me this job? Yes, I might have a skill, but there's some things that are missing. Okay, it's not just you learning a particular thing. You need to also have something else, attached to it, right? So, okay, so let me go back to my comment section. So I have Ifoma joining us from Germany. All right, welcome, Ifoma. Ifoma is actually a BA. Nice, 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 nice. So I want to believe everyone on this call, you are either a BA, right? Whether you are practicing or you've learned it somewhere, but you are actually a BA, okay? Or even if maybe you want to venture into it, you want to become a BA, right? This session is still for you, right? So that you learn and know that, okay, when I'm getting in, these are the things I need to actually do, or these are the things I need to know, because it's very, very important. Trust me, knowledge is power. All right. So whether you are applying it now or you want to apply it later, but I always advise immediately you hear a particular thing, you jump into it ASAP. All right. So that you do not, I would say you won't lose the morals, and that you wanted to use to go into that. All right. So let's just go right into it. So thank you very much for everyone that have actually, dropped, I'll say dropped where they are joining us from, as well as, if they're BA or not. Okay, but now I'll still want each and every one of us to, respond. So we are going to be doing this session together, right? We are in this session together. So we are going to be having a little bit of interaction. So please, I want you to be ready to drop, your messages on the chat box. Very, very important. Okay, so now before I go on, I want to know how many of us have actually learned something about business analysis. If you have learned, you've taken a course on business analysis before, please let me see a 1 in the chat. So you've learned business analysis, you've taken a course, okay? You've taken a course somewhere. All right, but maybe you are not into you've not yet gotten a job, right? But you've learned something. You've learned something somewhere, before. Please let me see a 1 in the chat. Please let me see a 1 in the chat. I want to see a 1 in the chat. So you have learned business analysis somewhere. If you've not, please let me see a 2. Let me see a 2. Let me see a 2. You've learned business analysis somewhere, right? Let me see a 1. But if you've not, let me see a 2. I have learned a little on YouTube, Daniel. Okay, all right. Okay, so this session is still for you. All right. So far as you've seen something, all right, about business analysis, you've tried to learn something. Okay, Funke says Funke is giving us a 1. That means Funke has actually done a course. All right, that's nice. So now the truth is, we have persons that you've learned, but then again, you're still struggling to prove what you have learned in an interview. Now, this is where the struggle is. You've learned something, right? But then again, you're struggling to actually land this particular job as a business analyst. There is something missing, and we are going to be looking at it together in this session briefly. Okay? Now, who are we at Amdari? So Amdari is the one organizing this amazing career session. So who is Amdari, or who are Amdari? Who are they? What do they do? So let's briefly look at that. But then again, before I go on, I like I said, it's going to be interactive. We are doing this together. We are definitely doing this together. Okay. So how many of us have actually heard of Amdari before? Before this particular section, or this particular session? You have heard of Amdari before, you've joined our session before, you know what we do at Amdari. Please give me a thumbs up. All right, give me a thumbs up. Let me see. Give me a thumbs up. Let me see. So you've heard of Amdari before. This is not the first time you're coming across our session. So I have heard of Amdari. Okay. All right. Then I have heard of Amdari. All right. So that means we are not totally new to Daniel. So each and every one of us, please, I want us to, let's keep it coming as well. So let me know the persons that we have on this session. All right. So now, what do we do here at Amdari, right? I won't want to give us a whole long gist. All right. But straight to the point, what Amdari does is actually to bridge the gap between theory and practical. So we are the bridge. We are in between, right? We are in between, you having a theoretical knowledge and then the practical knowledge. So we are actually here to ensure that when you have a theoretical knowledge, you come into us and then you practice. So we are actually here to give you an experience, all right, a work experience. So yes, you built your career, right? You've learned something somewhere, but then again, you cannot get a job because you do not have an experience. All right. So this is where Abdari comes in. So we are actually a company that bridges that gap, gives you the practical experience that you are looking for to land that job that you need. So we actually run this across different career paths: the data analysis, the data science, data engineering, business analysis, which is why we are actually here today, right? Project management, we have SOC analysis and threat analysis, the technical hacking, as well as the GRC. So now we actually offer, I'll say, experiences across these different career paths. But the main reason why we are here today is for business analysis. All right. So even if you're interested in other career paths, do not worry. You can still learn one or two from this particular session. All right. So who is this person actually talking? Okay. Before I go in there, so let me introduce our co-founder. I know one way or the other, we must have seen Adeza Suleiman. You must have also, seen his posts as well as YouTube channels and the rest. So Adeza Suleiman is actually the co-founder here at Amdari. All right. And he's also a founder of Tenalytics. And then most of us must have come across, Tenalytics or Amdari somewhere. All right. So Adeza Suleiman is one of our co-founders, and he has actually helped over 2,850 people with no tech background transition into tech, as well as landing their first jobs. So Adeza Suleiman has a whole lot of experience. He has over decades of experience in data analysis as well as management consulting. So now, based on these experiences that he has gathered, he has seen that, oh, there is a gap somewhere. All right. That's why they came together, himself and a femina, right? They came together to come up with this particular amazing company because they do not want people to go through the stress that they have gone through. All right. Yes, we know the same experience is the best teacher, but trust me, it's nice when you're learning from another person's experience as well. All right. So that is why this Adeza and Femina actually came up with this amazing company, just so that people do not struggle the same way they have struggled. So they've had a whole lot of persons to land their tech jobs as well as transition smoothly. All right. So now, who is this person on the screen? Who is talking? Who has been the one talking for the past 14 minutes? So this is Edidion Emmanuel, right? So Edidion Emmanuel is actually a business data analyst specialist here at Amdari with nearly a decade of experience in analytics, data science, as well as business analysis, right? So I have actually helped a whole lot of persons. All right. So I have mentored, I have tutored a whole lot of persons as well to actually transition into this tech career, right? With my wealth of experience cutting across different industries, from the edtech to the supply chain to e-commerce as well as HR, right? So I actually help businesses. All right. I actually help businesses to actually bring into existence, right, everything that they've been struggling with. They're having problems. What I do there is actually to ensure that their needs are met, whether it is the technical aspect, right? I ensure that I bring in my wealth of experience to solve whatever issues or whatever challenges that they are having. All right. So that is what I do. And I have skills from Jira, Confluence, to the process mapping, requirements, elicitation, and the rest. So that's a whole lot. I wouldn't want to, go on and on and on with that. So like I said earlier, so I have mentored a whole lot of persons, over 2,000 plus of them, right, to ensure that they get this worth of experience and then they land their first job as well. Daniel is asking, what's my location? Do you want to take me out? Daniel, do you want to take me out? Do you want to take me out? Yeah, my location. All right, so let's just go on before I come back to Daniel's questions. So yes, what are we actually doing today? What are we going to be exploring today? So we already have a glimpse of it from the topic that I explored earlier. So what we are going to be discussing today is one is what employers look for in a real BA work. So if you are a business analyst, what are these guys looking at? What do they need from you? All right, for you to land that job. Another thing that is the key business analyst deliverables across a project cycle. All right, then we have the reward templates as well as examples, and a lot of us are here for templates. I know that very well. And then again, I'm going to be sharing the Amdari work experience and the special offer. Like I said at the beginning, so we have a package, we have an amazing offer, right, for you. So please, you have to ensure that you stay to the end of the session. Then again, please ensure that you fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping on the chat. Very, very important. So if you never want to get the recording, you want to get this slide as well as every other package that is in this particular slide. All right, so you need to fill that attendance form. Please fill the attendance form so that you are going to actually get the packages entailed in this particular slide of today. All right, so I asked this question earlier, and very few persons actually answered the question. So I want to believe we're a lot now on the call. So how many of you you've learned business analysis? You have learned business analysis somewhere, right? And then again, you're struggling to land a job. Please let me see in the comment section. Let me see that in the comment section. Let me see that in the comment section. Okay, so if you know very well, you've learned business analysis, right, somewhere, all right, but then again, you've not started practicing, you've not gotten a job yet, all right, I want to actually see that in the comment section, all right, because this particular session is also for you. So now, the thing is, why a lot of persons are still, I would say, struggling, why they are still struggling is because they are missing out on something. They are actually missing out on something. Because now, based on research, okay, this is what you can see on my screen. Based on research, 65% of hiring managers, they are open to hire you based on what you can show them. Yes, you have a certificate, fine. But then again, 65 of them are actually, or 65% rather of them are actually looking for what you can actually show them rather than your certificate. So this is where a lot of business analysts or a lot of persons that are just transitioning into tech, this is where the issue is. This is where the gap is. So based on research, all right, so there's a link here. So there's a link here, so you can actually click on it and read it again, all right, so that you get a full info on this. So 65% of hiring managers, they are not actually really particular about your certificate. That is because employers they're not hiring what you have in your head. They are hiring what you can demonstrate on a paper or on a screen or in your portfolio. So this is where the gap is. This is actually where the gap is. And we are going to be looking at it together to ensure that we bridge this particular gap. All right. So now, this is the harsh truth, right? This is I'm going to be as raw as possible. This is actually the harsh truth. All right. So this is why most persons that are aspiring to be a business analyst or to land a job as a business analyst, they're not getting hired. This is the reason why they're not getting hired. One is because they're carrying a generic certificate. Then most of them is just theory only. They've learned it somewhere. Yes, they're having just theory. They don't have anything to show. They do not have anything to actually show that they can do a particular thing. So yes, they have done courses, they've passed certifications, they've even written a great CV. Now, that's the amazing thing, right? They've written a very great CV. But when they are asked to show something, there is nothing to actually show. So employers don't just want to read your amazing CV. Yes, they're interested in seeing your CV, but it does not stop there. They actually want to also see your capability. They want to see what you can actually do as well. And the goal of today is to actually show us that you need to have something. And how can you even come up with the thing that you want to show? How can you even come up with these deliverables? That is what we are going to be looking at in today's session. All right. So now I have a very big question. I have a big question for us, and I want each and every one of us to answer the question. All right. So please, I want us to be as realistic as possible. All right. So if a recruiter actually, tells you that, oh, you walk into an interview room and then you've presented everything, you're like, okay, oh, I'm a business analyst and the rest, and they're telling you, okay, show me your work. Let me see your work. Do you actually have something to show? Do you actually have something to show? So if you know you're among persons that, you can actually show something, please, let me see a thumbs up. If you know that you're among persons that you do not have anything to show for, let me see a thumbs down. All right, so let me see a thumbs up. Thumbs up if you can show something. Thumbs down if you know very well that you do not have anything to show. All right, so I saw, I think I saw a reaction from Oluwabukini. Okay, so well done, Oluwabukini, if you have something to show. Bolu, well done if you have something to show. That is to show that you are actually, I'll say business analyst. All right, but it is very important. Oh, Daniel is saying I can't show anything. Now, this is where the problem is. All right, so don't worry. We are going to be addressing each and every one of those issues here. So this is where the gap is, right? This is where the gap is. So as a business analyst, you are not just talking. You're not just talking business analysis. Rather, you are actually doing something. So that means you need to show something. Okay? So now, this is another part I want us to answer to. Like I said, it's an interactive session. So I want each and every one of us to be doing it together. So please, let's imagine that you are a CEO, right? Let's imagine, I know most of us, we have CEOs in this call, right? So now, if you're not a CEO, imagine with me, all right? So let's imagine that you are actually a CEO of a company. And then you have a multi-million-dollar deal, a multi-billion business deal, all right? And then you're looking for contractors that you want to award this particular deal to. Okay, so I want you to pick between these two candidates who you are going to pick. Are you going to be picking candidate A, which is just theory-based, coming with your certificate, telling you, oh, let me take for instance. So let's say if it's a construction company, all right, and then the person is coming to tell you, so I graduated with a first class in this, in so and so engineering, I have this, I have that. Or a person that actually is showing you, you've seen it physically, showing you a picture of, oh, this is the contract I actually handled some months ago, right? This is what we did. He's showing you pictures of what he or she has done before. So now between these two persons, candidate A and candidate B rather, who are you going to be awarding your contract to? So please, if you are for team A, drop A in the chat. If you are for team B, drop B in the chat. Guys, I am waiting. So I am in the comment box. So if you are for team A, let me see A. If you are for team B, let me see a B. All right. So we are having team B, team B, team B, team B. Amazing. So now you see now that even you yourself, right, you cannot hire somebody that just has theory-based knowledge. So now this is where the challenge is. This is where a whole lot of business analysts, not just business analysts, people that are in tech, this is where the issue is. This is where we are having challenges. This is where the challenge is. All right. So most persons, they do not have anything to show. They do not have anything to show. They do not have anything to show. So this is where the gap is, right? And then every recruiter, whoever is hiring, they have things that they are looking out for. And then again, if you are for Mr. A, which is just the theory base, you are an average candidate. That is the truth. You are an average candidate. All right, and then that means your hiring chances are very slim. That is because those persons that are an average candidate, they're only coming in to list their skills. They'll list skills. They're telling you, oh, I know how to define this. So let me use business analysis terms, for instance, now. So they're coming in to tell you, oh, I can define what a BRD is. You're asking them, oh, what's a BRD? They can define it. They know the terms. They know all the terminologies. All right? They're talking pure theory. They can define everything for you. All right? And then the only thing you'll be hearing them saying, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. Oh, maybe let's take, for instance, I can write a BRD, right? I can write a business case. But you have not seen it in your eyes, right? But a job-winning candidate will not only come and be talking. A person is going to be showing you. The person is going to show you the deliverables. So if the average business analyst is saying, I can write a BRD. A job-winning candidate is going to be showing you, now this is my BRD, right? I worked on a particular project with so and so person or with so and so company, right? And this is the BRD I wrote for them. And with this BRD, this is what we're able to do. You know, they're talking based on experience, with evidence, right? With evidence, all right? And they're going to be saying, I did this. They're not saying I can. They're saying, I did this, I did that. They are showing you the outcome of what they did. So now, you know very well that as a hirer or as an hiring agent or a manager, they will definitely go for something that, or someone that they have seen proof that they can trust. So based on, you know, the first illustration we gave, a billionaire or a hiring manager, or would I say owner of a company, is going to be awarding contract to someone that has experience, someone that can show, not just saying I have. You can say I have experience, I have 10 years of experience, and then you have nothing to show. Seeing is actually believing when it comes to this part, right? This part of the world that we are in, right? Seeing is actually believing, okay? So now, this particular session is about moving. If you know you are in the average candidate area, the candidate A, which is theory-based. Why we are here is actually to see how we can move you from being an average candidate to being a job-winning candidate. That is the aim. And now, for you to be able to even move, right, from being a candidate A to being a candidate B, it means that you have something to show. It means that you have an evidence to show recruiters that, okay, I can actually do this. I have done this before. This is my proof. That is why we are here, right? So you will have something to show at the end of the day, okay? Which is your BA skills, okay? The deliverables you have done before. Now, what are even these deliverables? Let us start from there. So if we are saying as a BA, for you to be a job-winning candidate, you need to have deliverables. What are these deliverables? What are they? All right. Now, this takes us down to our next slide, which is the business analysis project life cycle. The business analysis project life cycle. So now, every project that you work on as a business analyst, it actually passes through different phases. It touches through different, I'll say different things, different stages. All right. So you move from discovery to elicitation, to analysis, to the design, to the validation, as well as implementation. So all these are phases, all right, which you need to actually go through as a business analyst handling a project. So now let's look at the first phase, or the first thing, which is the discovery as well as elicitation. So now for this particular stage, this is the foundation. This is like the building block for everything that you are going to be doing. All right. So this is where you are asking the why first. Why first? Okay. So you're asking them, okay, so why are we doing this? Why are things like this in the company? Okay. So you're trying to understand what is happening before you even get to the how. It is at this stage, right? So now it is at this stage where you are clarifying the business context. You're trying to understand what is happening, okay? You're trying to understand what is their expectations for a particular project. This is where you are curious. You want to understand things so that you know how you can place them. All right. So it is in the discovery stage that you actually get direction. You get a direction to, okay, oh, this is what we actually want to do at the end of the day. All right. And then it is in elicitation as well that you are building trust. You are actually building trust in elicitation, because at this point, you're trying to understand what is happening. You're asking a whole lot of questions, just to ensure that you get all the information that you need for a project to be a success. All right. Now, the next phase you're going into is the analysis phase. So you've gathered all the info that you need. You need to now sit and then critically think and break down things. You critically think, you organize, you prioritize, and then you try to structure things. It is your analysis that is a proof of your thought. It is in your analysis that you know if you actually understand what these guys are telling you that they need. Remember, as a business analyst, you are in between both your stakeholders and the technical guys. So that means you should understand what the stakeholders need for you to even interpret it in a way that the technical guys are going to also understand and build. So it is in your analysis stage that you are going to actually bring out all these things. You try to analyze and understand, okay, oh, this is where we are headed. This is what these guys are looking for. How do we get from point A to point B? You are analyzing at every point. Okay? Now, after analysis, you are getting into the solution design. So now you've analyzed it. You flesh things out. It's now time for you to now try to put two or two together to say, okay, can we actually achieve whatever these guys are saying they need? How is it going to look like? So you have to ensure that you flesh that out first in a way that the technical guys will understand. All right? You are translating the business needs into the technical execution. That is what you are doing when it comes to the design of the solution. Now, after that, you're going into validation. So you have to now look, okay, so this thing that we said we are going to do, we have already given ourselves a structure that, oh, this is what we want to do. You have to sit back and validate it. All right. So if I am saying we want to actually achieve a particular website, and then again, I have written a user story, I have to now sit back and validate it. What my stakeholders needed, this is my structure. Is it actually covering it? Is it going to give me a solution to the problem? You are validating. So you're trying to check and own the quality of whatever thing that is going to be developed. Now, this is where you as a BA, you are earning trust. It is in validation that you're going to earn trust. All right. So after validation, the next thing you are implementing. So most of the times you are not going to be the one implementing, but you are going to be there to ensure that everything they are implementing is in line with what the business actually needs. All right. So here you have to ensure that end to end, everything is done. So now, for each of these stages, for each of this life cycle, you have something that you are delivering. You are not just doing it for fun. You're not just going through each of it for fun. Like I said earlier, why you're doing this is because you need to have something that you are showing. All right. So business analysis role is talk and do, right? You have something that you are actually doing at the end of the day, and every stage leaves behind something very tangible. All right, which is the deliverables. And each of these deliverables are your receipts. It is your career receipt. Yeah, I'll say it again. It is your career receipt, right? It is a proof that you can deliver value from start to finish. So for each stage, you have something you are delivering. For each of the phases, you have something that you are actually delivering. Now, let's look at each of these the project life cycle and their deliverables. Let's quickly look at that. So for the first stage, you have what you are delivering. So a business case. So when you are going through the discovery and elicitation, you have documents that you're doing, you're coming up with. So your business case, All right, the stakeholder map, as well as the resting metrics, your elicitation plan, the interview and workshop notes. All right, so if you're carrying out an elicitation, you're going to ask questions, you're having an interview, obviously you need to take down notes, because that is what you're using for your next phase. All right, the stakeholder requirement document. Okay, so you are understanding, oh, what stakeholders actually need, and then you're documenting it accordingly. You know, okay, oh, this is the strategy we are going to be using, the communication plan. Oh, this is what we are going to be doing. This is what each stakeholder needs. So you are documenting each and every one of it, because all these are your receipts. I'll say it again. They are your receipts. When you get to the next phase, which is the analysis phase, you have the document to actually show as well your BRD, your process maps, the use case and user stories. These are your evidence of work. This is the proof that you can actually carry out whatever thing you're saying you can do as a business analyst. The next step is the functional and non-functional requirements, your gap analysis, as well as your solution design document. The next phase is the validation phase, right? So you still have a document which you are coming up with, which is the requirement traceability metrics. You have your UAT plan and test cases, and then you have your sign-off document. Okay, very, very, very important. Then the implementation phase, you also have things that you are going to be delivering. The change impact analysis, the training and handover plan. Now, I see that there are times that most business analysts, they stop halfway. They don't complete the cycle. All right, but it's very important that whatever project you're doing, you try as much as you can to conclude the cycle, except probably you are working as maybe a consultant, right? So they just hired you to actually handle a particular phase. So when you are done with that phase, maybe you finish up, you hand over, and maybe you're done. If it was maybe a 3-month contract, and then you are not supposed to conclude everything in that particular project. That is fine. All right. But for every stage, you have something that you're showing. So even if you're just doing one phase, okay, of this particular project, you still have something to show that you can actually do it. All right. So now, for all these phases, right, we have seen that you have something that you are actually showing. For every phase, you have something that you're actually showing at the end of the day. So now, let us quickly look at how these deliverables that I'm talking about, all the deliverables I have mentioned, how it has actually helped our consultants here at Amdari to stand out and land a job. So that you understand that, yes, each of these deliverables, they are very, very important, and they can actually help you out to get a job, because you're going in there, you are telling them, I can do this thing. I have done it before. Here is my proof. All right. So let's quickly look at one of our Amdari consultants, business analyst consultants here. So this is Anita, right? So Anita actually joined us in August, and literally joined Amdari in August, right? And then in September, she sent this message to her mentor, which is one of our business analyst specialists here at Amdari, right? She got an offer, she came to us, we prepped her, and then she was able to land a job. Now, you see the message she sent here. She said, Mama, your girl got the job. It is here. They just sent me a mail. All right, so this is how excited she was, and then she just ran in, right, to her DM and then told her this. So Anita was actually not a BA, right? It's not like she just I would say she was just a BA. No, she started from somewhere. She was into tailoring, but she moved into business analysis. All right, but then again, she took courses, right? She went ahead to take some courses. However, she was not still landing a job because there was something missing. Yes, she had a solid CV, but there was still something missing. She did not have experience. She didn't have something to show, right? But when she now actually joined Amdari, because here at Amdari, right, whatever you're working on, it's your receipt. So you have a proof to show. So everything she did, right, she was able to prove that she knows what she can do. She knows all these things that she's saying she can do, rather. All right, she worked with real stakeholders. She has actually worked on messy requirements. She met deadlines. She mapped processes. All right, then she ran interviews with these stakeholders, asking them questions. All right, and then again, she was able to write user stories. Then she was able to show everything she did here at Amdari. She was able to show it, and then again, remember, your receipt is what is helping you land your job. So because of all these things, right, that she was able to show based on everything she worked on here at Amdari, she was able to show their recruiters that, okay, I can do this thing. I have experience. This is my proof. She showed them everything she had worked on. And then again, she landed a senior business analyst role. Well, still in the program. She's still in the program with us as we speak, but she's landed a job. So she might even choose to like, I don't want to continue again. I've landed the job, right? But yes, she is still in the program. How was she able to do this? She had her deliverables. She had a receipt. She had something to show. She was able to prove what she can actually do. Now, this is another amazing person, Larry. For those of us that joined the call early or earlier, you had heard one of my colleagues playing a video of what she actually had to say. So she got a job. She joined us in April, and in August she got a job as a business analyst. All right, so she was actually working in a particular company already, but she was not a business analyst. But when the role came up, she was able to fit in. She was able to tell them that I can do this thing. I have a proof. Because she joined our program, everything she worked on was actually a receipt. So she was able to walk into the interview and then tell them, this is what I can do. I have done it before. This is the proof. So she was able to stand out. So let me quickly just play her video because I want us to hear it. I want us to actually hear her saying these things. All right. I want us to actually hear her saying it. So let me just quickly play this. Please, when you can hear the sound, I want you to actually give me a thumbs up. Okay. When you can hear a sound, ensure you give me a thumbs up. So let me know.
Congratulations on getting the business analyst role, and was super excited for you. Once again, you got a job as a business analyst, right, Larry?
Yes, in my current place of work.
Awesome. So congratulations on getting the business analyst role, and was super excited for you. Yeah. Okay. So quick one, right? I would like to know what challenge you faced before landing this role, right? And probably landing your first job in tech also. What was the challenge? I mean, this is your first job in tech?
Yes. I've been in banking operations all the while. So yeah, this is my first role in tech.
Awesome. So what was the challenge you faced trying to get a job in tech as someone who just, got the skill probably from a boot camp and all that? So what was the major challenge before Amdari?
All right. So the major challenge I personally faced was lack of confidence because most of the experience I had was, like say, textbook experience. It wasn't really hands-on like that. So when I go for in interviews, most times I just get scared. I'm like, and I might start well, but the confidence wasn't really there because I'm a very practical person. I'm the kind of person that once I've done it, yes, then I'm good. But there's a difference between reading it and being told and actually doing it. So confidence was, one of the key issues for me because from my experience, I could say I have how like say is it referred experience now or what do they call it from the various roles I've done. But I didn't just have the confidence to say okay I have done this or I can do this because I've not actually sat in the role to do it. So I think confidence was my own major issue.
Thank you so much, Larry. And I love what you said about being a practical person.
Okay, so that is a very long video, right? So I will actually want us to, when you get this particular slide, I want us to click here and then listen to what Larry has to say in full. So from everything I played earlier, I want to believe that you had picked something from what she said. Okay, so she had the theoretical knowledge. She had theoretical knowledge, but since she did not have the practical knowledge, confidence was lacking. And from what she said she's a practical person, right? So immediately she does a thing, right, she's able to now, confidently defend what she has done because she has actually done it. So there's always a difference between when you know something, right, just with a textbook, let me use our words, right, and when you practice it, you've actually done it. Okay, so the confidence level is going to be different. So when she came into Andari, right, because of the practical experience, she being able to work on projects, and then she was able to now showcase it that, oh, I have actually done this thing. That is how she was able to land a job, okay, from being in banking and finance to now being a business analyst. Okay, so you see how powerful your receipt is as a business analyst, which is your deliverables. You having a portfolio, you having something to actually show when you walk into an interview. It is very, very important. And that is how Larry was actually able to land this job. All right. And apart from Larry, we've seen Anita. All right. So it is extremely, I cannot overemphasize it. Like, it is 100% very, 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 very important. All right. So now that we've looked at the life cycle, so we know very well that, okay, this is what I am supposed to be developing. So for every project, I know that I have something that I need to actually show. We've talked about from the discovery stage, all right, down to the implementation stage. Now let us look at what we can actually show at the end of the day. So what am I going to be looking at? What am I going to be showing? All right, what am I actually going to be showing? What am I going to be showing? Now, the amazing thing is that when you're using templates, it makes work easy. Trust me. All right. So the easiest way for you to actually generate your deliverables is templates. I will not lie to you. It is templates. All right. So templates actually helps you. You know you have a deliverable. All right. So first of all, it comes with the knowing. That is why I started with you knowing the deliverables, what you are supposed to actually come up with as a business analyst. So that when you're going into an interview, you know that, okay, oh, so what do these guys want to hear? They want to hear these deliverables. They don't just want you to come and just be giving them definitions. That is why we started from you knowing your deliverables. So now you know the deliverables. How can you even come up with it? That is why we are here. All right. So the easiest way for you to generate them, the easiest way is for you to use templates. And templates are an already structured and ready to go document. So with templates, it helps you. You're not starting from scratch. All right. You're not starting from scratch. Rather, what you're doing now is you are going to be picking up something, right? And then you're customizing it to fit whatever project you're working on. All right. It makes the work easier. Okay. Because these templates are stuff that professionals they've used before, right? They have actually used it before. Okay, and then they've tested it, they've seen that it is okay for you to use. It's something that you can fly with. All right. So with templates, it helps you to actually you stay focused. You are focused. You know what you want to do. You are now focused on the parts that are important, the things that are important for you. And it helps you to create a very high quality deliverable that will actually showcase your skills at the end of the day. Okay, so with template, like I said, it saves time. Very important. It is saving your time, and then again, you are producing deliverables that get you noticed because people have used it before. It's like also an industry standard. All right, so you will always see different templates, different things, but you now need to understand. This is where the knowledge comes in, right? Where you understand and know that, okay, oh, this is what I want to actually put in this particular deliverable that I'm working on. This is the industry I'm working on. So I believe these are the things that are needed. Okay, so template is going to help you. It ensures that you save time. All right, it ensures that everything that you're doing, you are focusing on the most important things. You're not just beating around the bush. You're not thinking, what am I supposed to be including? Let's take BRD for instance. What am I supposed to be including in this BRD? And then you're wasting time, right? But with your template, you know the components, you know things that are supposed to be there. All you just have to do is now look at it and then come up with them with those key components, and then you are good to go. It actually saves you some time. Very, very, very important. All right. So if you don't take out anything from this session, please take out the fact that when it comes to using of templates, it is going to help you. It's going to save a whole lot of time for you. And then it's going to help you to focus on things that are very, very important. It's going to help you to, create a high quality deliverable that is going to help you to showcase your BA skills at the end of the day. Okay. So now, how would this template actually help you to get a job? How would it actually help you to get a job? Now let's look at each of the deliverables, as well as how it's going to place you in the job market. How it's going to place you, to become that job winning candidate at the end of the day. All right. So let's quickly look at that. So first of all, you look at the deliverable here, which is our BRD. BRD is like the most common. It is very, very common. If you are in business analysis, I don't know what a BRD is, then there is a problem somewhere, because BRD is actually one of the most common documents, the most common, right? And then again, it is something that you will need. Whatever project you're working on, whatever industry you're working on, you will need to come up with a BRD. Remember, we have already showed you, or I have already showed you the different the life cycles, each of the phases, as well as what you need to be coming up with for each of those phases. All right. So now you know that, okay, so for each of the phase, I have to document something. I have to show something. So for BRD, right, we already mentioned that it is actually in the analysis phase. And how does it help you to get hired? So your BRD shows that you can actually translate business needs into structured and actionable requirements. So that is what it's showing. All right. So that is what your BRD is actually going to be showing. Okay. So it shows that you actually know what you're doing. You can translate business needs. Okay. You can make it into a structured way that whether you are a technical person, whether you're a non-technical person, whether you are a stakeholder, you are able to understand. Everybody sees things in I'll say, plain paper. All right. Another thing there is your stakeholder map. This is very, very important. This is very, very, very important. This is what is going to help you as a BA, right? For manage your stakeholders. As a BA, you always work with stakeholders. You will always, always work with stakeholders, whether you like it or not. And stakeholders can be a bit difficult at times for you to manage. So stakeholder management is a skill on its own that every BA must have. And what can you show, that you can actually manage stakeholders, that you have that skill? It is when you are able to, showcase this, your document, your stakeholder documents, as well as the maps, okay, where you are able to structure, okay, oh, these are the stakeholders involved in this particular project. These are the roles that they are playing. These are what they need. You are showing everybody in plain terms, right? Everybody's looking at it. Okay, so these are what they need, okay, at the end of this project or within this project. Now, this is the communication plan. How am I going to be communicating with these guys? How do they like to be communicated with? Do they want it to be weekly? Do they want it to be monthly? Do they want it to be in a live meeting? Do they want it to be in email? So all those information is what you are putting in your stakeholder document, your stakeholder requirement document, as well as the map. Those information are important. So imagine I walk into an interview and then they're asking me, do you have okay, what skills do you have? Right, I have it in my CV already. So let's say I've put in that, okay, I can actually do stakeholder management. All right, and then they're asking me how. So I can pick up my document and like, okay, so there was a time I worked in so and so company, and then we worked on this particular project, and I was able to first of all identify the stakeholders that were involved in this project and how they wanted us to interact with them. And then this is my proof. And then I quickly just show you something on my system. All right. Confidentiality is very important as well. Okay. As a BA. So you are going to be taking off some things. That is why the template is very important. All right. Because with your template, you can just quickly, put in something, remove the company name. Very important. Okay. Remove anything that has to do with personal info to this particular company that you worked with. Because as a BA, like I said, confidentiality, very, very important when you're working with people, especially when you are a consultant. All right. So with that, you can show something. You have a proof of whatever you have done. All right. Now, the next thing there is your requirement traceability metrics. So this one ensures that every requirement is tested and traced. So when you're showing them this, these people can trust you. They know that, okay, you know what you are doing. So you are not just going to develop something. All right. It's not just going to be plain paper. You know how to test and ensure that everything that you are saying they are going to do actually meets the standard of what the company actually wants. All right. Then lastly is the user story as well as acceptance criteria. This shows that you understand Agile. You know how you can convert business needs into actionable tasks. Very, very, very important. So these are the few, all right? We have a whole lot, right? I just picked this few. So when you're walking into an interview, you ensure that all these deliverables, you have them. You have very, very, very important. All right. So with these deliverables, this is how the likes of Anita, the likes of Larry was able to land a job, because they were able to show. Okay, like Anita, for instance, she was able to show these persons that I can write a user story. I have written it before. All right. I worked on a project and we're able to actually do this. And she had something to show them. All right. The likes of Larry, she was also able to show them, okay, I can do this thing. I have done it before. Here is a proof. So your deliverables are a proof that you know what you are doing or what you say you can actually do. So it is very, very important that you have this. Okay, so now let's quickly look at some real and editable templates that you can actually immediately use to create your deliverables and build your BA portfolio. Okay, so these templates, it is not just a project. All right, this is actually tickets that will help you to stand out in your interview. This is like I'll say your receipt at the end of the day. The same way it worked for Anita, the same way it worked for Larry. All right, so it is a proof that whenever you have a deliverable, you have something to show, you are good to go. You are going to be a persons that are actually in the job winning, like the job winning candidate. All right, so let's quickly look at the first template here. So I'm not going to be able to open all of them here on the call, but please ensure that you fill the form. My colleague has been dropping. Please ensure you fill the form so that you can get access to this. All right, so that you can actually get access to this particular file that I am sharing here, and you have access to the template. All right. So first of all, here is a BRD. So I want to believe we all know what a BRD is, but if you do not know, so I have it all here. So this is what helps you to outline the business needs and expectations for the project. It is like the foundation of the project. So like I said earlier, right? So your BRD, it is very important. It is 100% very, very, very important. Every project you do, you will always have a BRD to, to come up with. So this is the template. So let me just quickly click on the link so that we can actually look at, the template briefly. I'm not going to look at all of them. All right. So let me share, let me quickly share this. So this is a template that you can actually pick and edit, and then you can work with. So you put the name of the project you're working with, who prepared it, what version is this? So is it version 1? Is it version 2? Okay, is it something that is editable? The versions, the editable. So yes, remember, when you finish a particular, I'll say the first version, okay, so it goes in for approval. So if there are things that needs to be changed, when you change it or you work on it, you have to change the version. So that is why you have this, and it's always very, very important, right? So this is like, I'll say, this is the table of contents, right? So you have your project description, very important, right? Which tells the drivers, the scope, the current process, as well as post process, the requirements, constraints, right? So each of it. All right, so you see here, it gives you, okay, an executive summary, the goal, the purpose. So with this, you are going straight to the point, okay? So what's the business drivers, the business outcomes, all right, the scope, current process. So with this, you're going straight to the point. Oh, this is what I need. This is what I need. This is what I need with this particular editable template. All right, so that is that for the BRD. So the next one, that is the business case. Now, business case is actually what you use to justify that this project that we are working on is something that we can do. Okay, so your business case is very, 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 very important. Most of the times, okay, so you write the business case, you come up with it. When it is approved, that is when they can now go on with the project. So with the business case, every stakeholder understands that, okay, oh, this is what we are going in for. We have to be ready for it. What are the benefits? What are we looking at getting at the end of the day? What's the cost? What's the risk? Okay, so this is like the foundation of the project. Okay, the foundation of the project. All right, so let me quickly click on this again for us to view. So please ensure you fill the form. Ensure you fill the attendance form so that you can actually get this. So now this is the template for a business case. This is a template for a business case. All right, so the version of the document, very important, the approval, because it needs to actually be approved. All right, it needs to be approved. Okay, so what do you need to include here? Your executive summary. All right, it needs the background, which is the needs assessment. So why do we actually want to do this project? Why is it important? All right, so what's the proposed project objective? What are we going to be looking at? Okay, so this is very important. It just helps you, right? You're going straight to the point. You're not beating around the bush in thinking of, oh, how do I come up with this? Okay, how do I come up with that? Because your deliverables, very, very important. You need to have something to show. All right, another there is the RTM, right? I'm not going to click this, right? So when you have access to this, you can always view this. This is also an editable, file. Same thing with your power grid. So this is what you're using to actually manage your stakeholders. So you place immediately you open this document, you know very well, oh, I need to actually work with stakeholders. But how do I know who is very important? I need to pay close attention to. Okay, so with your power interest grid, it helps you managing your stakeholders. Okay, oh, we have persons that are very, very important. All right, that no matter what happens, I need to work closely with these persons. We have persons that, yes, they're important, but do they really have a high influence on this project? Can we do with or without them? Okay, do we have persons that if they say end this project, we are not working on it again, we are not working on it, the project is going to stop. Okay, we are going to put a stop to it. So all those kind of persons, you need to be able to know the kind of stakeholders you're working with and how you can manage them. That is why you have this power grid. Very, 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 very important. All right, so please let me come back to you guys. Are we enjoying this session? Are we enjoying this session? Okay, are we enjoying? Did we learn one or two things? Okay, did we learn one or two things? Did we learn one or two things? I think I'm going to call names. I like calling names when I'm in a session, so I think I'm going to call names now. So you understand that templates are going to help you. It is going to help you fasten the trap for you to actually get your receipts. Like I said, your deliverable is your receipt. Your deliverable is your receipt. Now, for you to actually work smart, come up with these deliverables to ensure that you have something to show. That is why you're using a template. And that's why we have a template. Okay, so template just helps you, it makes the work a bit faster. Okay, and then it's important. Every project you work on, you need to ensure that you have each and every deliverable to showcase when you get into an interview. Be like the likes of Anita, the likes of Larry, that had something to show. All right, it is very, very important. So your portfolio is very, very important. Your portfolio is 100% very, very important. So when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to you landing that dream business analysis job that you're looking for, you need to actually ensure that you have something to show. You need to ensure that you have something to show at the end of the day. If not, sorry is going to be your name. Trust me. Sorry is going to be your name at the end of the day. All right, so now, if you look at the likes of Larry, the likes of Anita, they had a portfolio. And that's one of the things that, we are actually preaching. Okay? They had a portfolio. So now, if you are among the persons that are in candidate A, you are a candidate A. You know very well that you're a candidate A. Please, I will want you to try to move to candidate B. If you are like this person on my screen, okay, that is still in candidate A, you need help ASAP. All right. So you know very well, okay, you've learned the skills, but then again, you do not have a work experience. Without a proof that you can do something, you cannot land a job. That's the truth. If Anita did not have a proof of what she, was able to do, there is no how she would have landed that job. Same thing with Larry. If she did not have, if she did not have something to show that, okay, I can actually do this thing, there's no how they would have trusted her to actually give her the job. So your experience is very, 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 very important. Now, you might be saying, how do I get this experience? How do I even get this proof, that I am a BA? How can I get the deliverables? What do I need to do? Okay? You might be thinking about that. You might be wondering. So do not worry anymore. Do not think anymore, because Amdari got you covered. The Amdari REF got you covered. REF is the Remote Apprenticeship Virtual Experience Program. Okay, so Amdari actually gets you covered. So you might be wondering how. So how is Amdari going to literally help me get the deliverables? Okay, so I don't even need to preach much on that anymore, because you have actually seen Anita, how Amdari actually helped her. Okay, she was actually a teller. She moved into, okay, oh, let me become a BA. And then she studied, she got the skills, but she was not still able to land a job. Her CV was okay, but there was still something missing, which was what? The deliverable. She was not able to actually have something to show. So here at Amdari, we are not just teaching you tools. We're not just going to, show you, okay, oh, just these are the tools you should use and the rest. No, you are going to be solving real business problems using your skills. You're solving real business problems, because at the end of the day, it is your receipt that you're getting after working on that project that you are able to showcase. You're putting it in your portfolio, and then you are able to showcase it that, okay, I have actually, or I can actually do this thing. And then you're walking into an interview, they're asking you, how can you actually do it? You have something to show. So you have something to actually show at the end of the day. So with Amdari, you have a proof of what you have done. All right. You have a proof of what you have done, and then you can actually show and land this job. You can actually show that, okay, I can do this thing, and then eventually land the job. All right. Now let's look at another person so that it doesn't look like, okay, just this two person. So now this is Betty. Betty actually joined Amdari as well. So you can see here she had even updated her LinkedIn. Okay. And now, because of the visibility, that she had gotten, because she updated her LinkedIn, she was able to showcase everything she had done. Okay, how I can do this. And then she was able to show a receipt as well on LinkedIn. She eventually landed a job. All right. So at first, she did not have experience. She had lack of experience. She wasn't able to land a job. But when she joined Amdari and our program, everything actually changed for her. Everything changed for her. Because at that point, she did not just get the experience, okay? She worked on real world projects, okay? And then again, she was able to secure a job at the end of the day, okay? Because she had something to show. She walked into an interview, and then she was able to prove that she can actually do, what she said that she can do. Without her being scared. Her confidence level was high because she had a deliverable. All right. She was able to prove her skills. She was able to show what she did here at Amdari, because she had gotten the experience as well as her receipt. Very, very important. She was able to develop her portfolio, and she had something to show. Now, this is another person, Tolu. All right. So you can click here, when you get this, to see her LinkedIn. So she's also one of us here at Amdari, right? She's able to also show, okay, when you get visibility, it helps you a whole lot to get a job. And now most recruiters, okay, so most of the time they'll always ask you for your LinkedIn profile link, because they know that if you say you can do this thing, that means you must have also been showcasing what you can do on LinkedIn. All right. So if you are here and your LinkedIn profile is crying for help, I will want you to go and do something about it ASAP. All right. So here, for Tolu, she was able to showcase, all the things she was doing. So this is her deliverable here. One of the projects that she worked on here at Amdari. She was able to put it out there to show people that I can actually do this. And we have a whole lot of persons that have gotten a job, via LinkedIn, because they were able to showcase what they have done here at Ambari. The project that they worked on, they were able to put it out there, persons saw it, and then they reached out to them. Oh, I can see that, you did XYZ. Okay, can you actually help us do this? Most of them is just, for contracts. Most of them is freelancing. Can you help us do XYZ? And they jump on it. They get their cool cash. That is because they have a deliverable, they had a proof, they had a receipt to actually show for what, they said they can do. All right, they actually had something to show. So here at Ambari, all right, so we work with a formula. I personally believe in this formula so much. All right, so PS plus P equals to being hired. So S is your skills. Yes, you have the skills, but do you have a portfolio? Do you have a deliverable? Do you have something that you are showing that you can actually do? All right, so when you have these two things, you will eventually land the job. And that is what Ambari is known for. We are the only platform that can guarantee you a work experience. Because for you to have a deliverable, for you to have something to show, that means you have worked on something, right? That means you've actually gotten the experience, you've worked on it. And here at Ambari, that is what we actually offer you. We offer you work experience. We have a whole lot of persons that, yes, they've gotten the theoretical knowledge, but then again, something is missing. No experience. No experience. Remember what I said at the beginning, that recruiters, they are not going to pay you or hire you for what you have in your head, but they are paying you for what you can actually show them that you can do. That is how you're going to get a job. And here at Ambari, that is what we are known for. All right, you can see the likes of Anita that have showed us. You can see the likes of Betty that have showed us, right? It is as a result of having what to show. They joined us, they worked on projects, they had their deliverables, they walked into an interview room, they were able to defend it, they were able to show that they have done, whatever they said they can do. All right. So, and their work experience is actually a full package. It is embedded with things that can help you land your dream job. Okay, it starts with you having, you have the experience of, having stakeholder meetings. You have experience of, getting feedbacks. Okay, and then you're working on real business challenges. Okay, you're working with real tools, doing real collaborations, and you have a real deliverable. Okay, and all this is embedded in our 4-month internship. All right, now with this 4-month internship, you still have access to a job reference later. There are a lot of companies in the UK that if you don't have a reference, they're not going to hire you, because that reference also backs it up that you have experience. So when you're coming into Ambari, you are known as a consultant. You are known as a consultant. All right. So in your reference letter, we're addressing you as our consultant. You're working with us here at Ambari. Now, with this particular job reference, trust me, you are getting a job ASAP, because already we have packaged you enough, right? You've worked on the project, you have your deliverables, and then you have something to also back you up to show that you can actually do this thing that you said you've done, right? You've actually have the experience. All right. So now you must still be wondering, okay, so all these persons you mentioned, how were they able to do all these things? How did Anita work on this project? What is the program? What's the full package like? How were they able to do this thing? All right. So here at Ambari, you work on real world projects. You are solving real business problems. You are solving real business problems. All right. And then again, you have access to tech mentors and reviews. So everything you're working on is being reviewed. You are having mentors talking to you. All right. You learn how to speak workplace language. Okay. Because as it stands, you're coming in, right, as a consultant. Okay. You're having the experience. So it is full package. You get visibility on LinkedIn. All right. So I've showed you the likes of Tolu and the likes of Betty. All right. So visibility on LinkedIn is very, very important as well, right? Which it is full package here at Ambari. And then again, you also know what hiring managers actually want, because in our mentorship programs, right, when we're having meetings like this, we're bringing in professionals, we're bringing in hiring managers to come and speak to you so you understand. a full-blown package. So you can click on this link to listen to what I had to say, because after she joined our program, all right, in 2 months, she was able to land a job. All right, she was actually able to land a job. So what does Amdari program actually carry? All right, so we call it a full rebranding platform. Amdari is a full rebranding platform where you intern with us, all right? We package you. And after the packaging, you will eventually apply for jobs and then you get the job. All right, so for the learning or for the internship part, all right, you're working on real world projects, you're solving real business problems, all right. And then again, we have a learn page in our platform where you can actually, go through a crash course. So let's say you learned something far back, maybe you've forgotten a whole lot, or you have a little concept, that we are introducing to you in a project and you are struggling with it. You go to the learn page and then you actually get I'll say crash course on that. Like I said, it's a crash course, meaning it's just something to just refresh your brain, just something to give you hands-on whatever you're working on. Okay, now after you have done this, we move on to package you. That is because you might have the theoretical knowledge, you might have the deliverables, but then again, something is missing. There are a lot of persons that don't know how to present themselves. Your CV is nothing to write them about. Your LinkedIn profile is nothing to write them about. So when you come into Amdari, all this is inside the package. All right, where you revamp your CV, you have your CV review, right? You optimize your LinkedIn in a way that if you've seen what Betty did in our LinkedIn, right? They even Tolu. All right, so it is as a result of them being in the program. We optimize your LinkedIn. You know what to put in your LinkedIn, okay, that can attract recruiters to you. All right, then we have our mentorship and the career coaching, package as well, where you're talking with experts, you're learning things, oh, what am I supposed to do? Okay, how am I supposed to present myself? And it does not stop there. We have interview preparations. So you get an interview invite. You don't just go in. We prep you. We tell you, okay, this is how you should package yourself. This is what you're supposed to be going there to say. These are the possible questions they can ask you, so you are 100% prepared. And now, after that, when you land the job and they're looking for a job reference, we are there. We got you covered. We'll give you a reference, a job reference later as well. And then when you land the job and you need a support, we still have the on-the-job support. Okay, so just to help you out at that first few months to get your feet on the job, and then you're good to go. Still in the package, we have a job board to help you out, okay, in terms of getting openings, job openings. Okay, so we get this job opening, we upload it to this our platform, and then you can click on it and apply. All right, so all this is inside still the package of Amdari. So let me just quickly show us. Let me just quickly show us how or what the platform actually looks like that has everything I just mentioned. All right, let me just quickly show us that for everything I have just mentioned, so that it doesn't look like I am just saying it, right? So this is our platform. So when you are enrolled, all right, when you're enrolled here, you have access to this particular platform. So this is the job board I mentioned. So immediately you log in, right, you will have access to this. As far as you are an Amdari consultant or an Amdari intern, all right, so you have access to this particular job board. So let's just give that few minutes to load up. So this is where you get the job updates. All right, so whenever we get job updates, so we upload it here. All right, so you can see this was updated like 2 days ago. So we have this is for data analyst, this data analyst. If you want to set payroll, you can always do that. All right, so even the visa sponsorship jobs, we have it here. So if I click on visa sponsorship jobs, all right, so I can see jobs that are open, okay, that are willing to give sponsorship. I can always get that from here. So you see, it is a full-blown package. All right, we ensure that we package you and you get the job. All right, so this is our job board, and we have a portfolio link as well here, where you package everything you have worked on. All right, everything you have worked on, you package it, and you can always copy your link and then you share it with your recruiters. You share it with people you want to showcase your project or everything you have worked on. All right, so with this, mainly you have access. All right, you can create your portfolio. So this is mine. All right, so you can always add projects. Okay, project you have worked on, whether it is within Amdari or outside Amdari, you can always add that. So this is like your own personal, I'll say, market. This is where you rebrand yourself. You put everything you need to showcase that you can do. This is like your receipt I was talking about. This is like your receipt that I was talking about, right? So everything you've done, you put it here, and then you can copy this and then you share it with recruiters. Let me quickly just show us how the program is in-house, right? So when you join us, okay, so you're actually going to be joining the classroom. So this is where the Google Classroom is actually where we put in the project, every other thing that's going on in the program. Most of our all our sessions are recorded. All right, all our sessions are recorded. So when you come in, so you see here we have a place to book. Maybe you're having issues. All right, you can always book to talk to the team lead from here. You can always select and then book a time to talk to the team lead from here. Now all our mentorship sessions I talked about, it is here. So you see, last session we had a session on imposter syndrome. We had a success story Thursday, mock interview. So we prep you so that we try to simulate a real interview situation scenario for you as well. So all this LinkedIn optimization session is also here, is recorded. So every session we have is recorded. Now these are the kind of projects, right, that they've worked on. This is for the May guys, right? So this is their project 6. This is what they actually worked on. So let me just quickly open this up so that we actually see the kind of project that they actually worked on. So when you're coming in, you're solving real business problems, all right? And then at the end of the day, you have a receipt. You have something to showcase. So now this is for a company, right? So we're trying to come up with a patient appointment scheduling and management system, right? So this is an overview of the company, the challenges and why we are doing this. So the objective, okay, so all this is what you are going to be getting when you come into Amdari. So everything is recorded. So for each of our sessions, for each project, because you always meet, we have to showcase what you have done. We always record the sessions. We always record the sessions. So these are the sessions, all right, always recorded. So you can always come back to it in case you miss anything. Okay, you always, our sessions are always recorded, so that you do not miss anything. Okay, so that's inside Amdari, right? What we are actually doing, so that you understand that everything that we are doing is actually authentic, right? You get, I'll say, you get value for everything that you're coming in to do here. Now, these are other projects. Okay, you can always click on this, to look at other projects that they've worked on, something similar that you're going to work on when you come into Amdari. All right, so now this is an exciting moment. This is an exciting moment. I told us, okay, so you should wait to the end, and then you are going to be getting a package from us. All right, so I want to believe that we have filled the form. So please ensure you fill the form. All right, ensure that you fill the form, just so that you are going to be getting the recording, right, as well as this particular slide. So we have a cohort that is starting 8th of November. We have a cohort that is starting 8th of November, and we have discounts available. And this particular discount is really exciting. It's exciting for me, right? Because it's something that we are actually doing just to ensure that we help. All right. Now we have an amazing discount. All right, an amazing discount. This is early Black Friday discount. Early Black Friday discount. At this point, this is where we should have like a drum rolls. All right, so instead of paying £500 for all the package that I showed us earlier, right? Instead of you to pay £500 for you to get the experience, for you to get the package, the packaging part of things where we are rebranding you, all right, your CV, the LinkedIn, and every other thing that is included there, as well as the job board. All right, so all those things, instead of you to pay £500, we are giving it for £299. At this point, you are saving £201. Like, this is early Black Friday discount and it's limited. All right. So we always have slots for each program. We always have slots for each program. All right. So I will want us to actually, jump into this discount. So if you want to actually move from being the candidate A, like we discussed earlier, to being candidate B, if you want to be like the likes of Lauren, you want to be like the likes of Anita, that actually they were able to have a receipt to show, they were able to, have a deliverable to go into an interview and then showcase, because at this point they have experience. You listen to what Lara said. Lara said she had the theoretical knowledge, right? But there was no confidence attached to it because she has not done it. But with the experience that she had here in Amdari, because she now knows, because she has worked on it with us, by herself. She knows she has these things to showcase. She was able to land the job. So for you to move from being candidate A to being candidate B, that means that you have something to show. And for you to have a deliverable, for you to have something to show, that means you have worked on something. You have the experience. And that is what Amdari is here to offer you. Remember, I said Amdari actually bridges the gap between you having the theoretical knowledge and you having the practical knowledge. All right. So, and we are giving this out for just £299. Now, the amazing thing here is it is multiple installments. You have 3 months installments. This program is for 3 months, but then again, we're having an additional 1 month free. So the money you are paying for, it is for 3 months, but at the end of the day, you are doing 4 months because we are going to be giving you extra 1 month free. Extra 1 month free. This is for all our programs. All right, for all the programs we are handling. Okay, but today we are specific about Business Analyst. Okay, but it is still the same price. It is still the same package, okay, across every program here at Amdari. So you have 3 months installments. And the beautiful thing now is for you to lock in your discount, and secure your spot, all right, you can make a payment of less than £100 today and secure your spot, secure your discount. Like I said, it is for the first 5 persons. It is for the first 5 persons. That is for business analysis. All right. We have shared it across. So by the time the spot elapses, we are going to shut down. Then we go on to a different price, which is definitely going to be the same price. So please, guys, I will want you to jump into this early Black Friday discount. Now, this sales is for our November cohort, right? Which is going to be starting on the 8th of November. It is starting on the 8th of November. So all you have to do is to click on the payment link that my colleague has dropped on the call. All right, click on the payment link my colleague has dropped on the call, right? Or when you get this particular slide, all you have to do is click on the main stack link. And let me just quickly show us how that looks. Let me quickly show us that, because we are going to be off here in less than few minutes. We're going to be done in less than few minutes. All right, so let me quickly just show us the payment platform, how it looks like. So when you click on the main stand link on the slide, all right, so this is what is going to be showing on your screen. All right, so you see it is our Black Friday early Black Friday discount offer. So all you have to do is scroll and select business analysis or any program that you are going for, any of the programs that you are going for. Like I said, it is the same package. It is the same package. All right. So for business analysis, you click on secure your internship. You click on secure your internship, and then it opens up in a new page for you for where you have to make your payment. Okay. So first of all, this is going to be showing based on your currency. All right, based on your currency. So let me just select for the pounds. Okay, so for pounds, just as I mentioned, with less than £100, guys, it's very cheap, right? Compared to when you are doing shopping with Primark. Compared to when you're shopping with Primark, right? Which is less. All right. So with this particular amount that's less than £100, you can invest in yourself. With less than this, you can invest in yourself. You secure your spot to start in on the 8th of November. Okay, this is a discount, and I want you to lock in your spot so that we don't have a lot of persons and then we are like, oh, we are done, and then we close up the discount and go back to the original price. All right, so with less than £100, you see here, you can actually lock in your spot. So like I said, you have up to 3 installments. 3 installments, okay? 3 installments, right? So for you to secure your spot, all you have to do is pay less than £100. All right, so you just select this and then click on your secured internship. Or if you want to pay this as for 2 months, or you want to give a one-time payment, you can actually do that. But if you're going for securing your spots now, which is paying the less than £100, all you have to do is select this, click on secure internship. All right, and then it shows you this just to reconfirm so that you know the dates which your payments are due, and then you proceed. All right, you proceed in making your payment. All right, all you have to do is fill in your details here, and then you proceed to making your payment, and voila, you have successfully secured your spot. All right, so please, I want each and every one of us to jump on this offer, okay, and secure your spot. All right, so if you know that you want to be like the likes of Larry, you want to be like the likes of Betty, the likes of Anita, I will actually want you to jump on this offer. All right, jump on this offer. I want you to jump on this offer by securing your spot. All right, so then just quickly glance through some more success stories. All right, so this is Kenneth rather. This is Kenneth. Kenneth actually joined our program. All right, he's currently on our business analysis program, and here is what he has to say about the program. Okay, to show this is like I'll say an in-house person sharing his experience on what the program is like for him over here. All right, so when you have this, you're going to click on that and share. And then this is another person here. All right, so she actually landed a system analyst role. System analyst role. She had 2 offers. She was in between picking. She didn't know which one to pick. This is her here when she messaged one of our co-founders, Efemina, all right, about the job offer. Okay, so this person, right, they've joined our program. They've experienced it. They now have a deliverable. They have something that they are showing. They have a receipt of whatever they are saying they can do. So it's easy for them to jump into an interview and then land a role. So you can also be like this person as well. So this is Kinde as well. Okay, so we had actually prepped Kinde. So like I mentioned, we have a full-blown package. So when you get an interview, we prep you. So this is Kinde, right? We prepped him for an interview, right? And after that, he landed the job. Okay, so you can also be like Kinde. So this is Kinde here, and then this is the message he sent to one of his coaches, Emeka. All right, so you can actually be like this person. All right, you can actually be like this person as well. So I have a whole lot of success stories. So this is Buki here as well. She got a job as a what's it called now from it as a data scientist rather. This is a message she sends to Efemina. All right, so with all the experiences that they've gotten, right? Because like I said, Andari is here to bridge that gap. We give you the experience. At the end of the day, you have your receipts to show. You have a deliverable, to show. So when you go into an interview, you're actually talking with confidence. You're actually showing them what you can do, because every recruiter would always want to see what you can actually offer. So these are a lot of other success stories. All right. So why Andari Consultant? How are they doing it? Okay. How are they doing it? How come they're just getting into the job market and then they're getting their job? That's because, one, They've worked in a cross-functional team. They worked on projects. They have experience. They have a receipt to show, right? They have mastered the industry tools. They have actually mastered these industry tools. They have gained the hands-on experience with this project. They've gotten feedbacks from experienced professionals. And then they have built their portfolio. They have something to show at the end of the day. And then boom, they receive that global recognition reference later, all right, which helps them to secure a job. So I will want each and every one of us to jump into this offer, jump on this offer, and try as much as you can to also enroll and join our program, okay, which is starting on the 8th of November, rather. So I don't know, do we have any questions? Okay, let us take questions before we wrap up. Please, if you have a question, I want you to, use the raise hand icon so that we can, ask you to unmute, and then you can actually ask a question. So, okay, somebody's saying, please tell us what we need to do and how to do it. So all you have to do is click on the main start link here on the chat. Okay, click on the main start link on the chat to secure your spot. I've actually showed us how you can actually do that. Immediately you click, you're going to, open up to the Rave platform. All right. You open up to the Rave platform, select the business analysis, right? You select the business analysis to secure your spot. And then again, all you have to do is now go over and then select how many months you're going, how many month installment, and then you make the payment, and voila, you have successfully, secured your spot. And after that, you're going to get a mail from us, right? You're going to get a mail from us telling you that, your spot has been secured and sharing the next step with you as well. I want to believe I've answered that question. But we can also unmute ourselves. You can also unmute yourself and, ask a question. Use the raise hand icon, and then I call you to ask your questions. Do we have any questions?
Yes, I have just a question.
All right, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm hoping to join the November 8th session for data analytics. So, and since I see the discount now, I was like, it's okay for me to join, but since I had tried to make the first initial payment when it wasn't that 90 something, can I still benefit from that?
Okay, have you made the payment already? Already?
Yes.
Okay, so since you have made the payment already, there is no how you can jump on this discount. All right, so already you are in. All right, so you're already our upcoming consultant, right, which is waiting to start in November. So you can't jump on the offer. So sorry, so sorry about that. All right, so sorry about that.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No, that's just it.
Okay, all right. Okay, Titilaya, so sorry about that. But yeah, so if you've not, you've not made payments before, okay, you're interested in our program, please jump on this discount so that when this ends, you're not going to, be like, oh, I had seen the discount, I would have jumped on that, and then you regret it at the end of the day. All right, so let me hear from Eniola. Hi, Eniola.
Hi, thank you so much for enlightening us on this. Thank you. You were really thorough. Just some quick questions. So I understand that the duration for the program is 4 months. Please, could you break down what the curriculum is for the 4 months? Is it that once we just start, we just go straight into the project? And the next question I have is that during like the project phase, would there be like the leader of the group, so to say? Would it be someone that is experienced or a student like myself?
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. So when you get in, all right, so for your 4 months, okay, so we have different projects you're going to be working on across different industries. So we are going to be starting from, I'll say, the basics. All right. So we're not just going to climb, the ladder like that. We're going to move from one level to the other. So for your 4 months, you're going to be working on different projects. And most of the times, your project is between 2 to 3 weeks. All right. So between 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to work on different projects across different industries, looking at different tools. All right. So we are cutting across different tools, okay, different industries, and then you're solving different problems, business problems across these different industries. All right. Now, for your second question, so you are going to be working with a specialist like myself. All right. So you're going to be working with a specialist like myself, which is going to be there to guide you. All right. Which is going to be like your mentor. So you're working on the project with this person. So even if you are collaborating with others, okay, so your specialist will always be there. If you had seen the classroom I had shared earlier, right, where we have meetings, and each of these meetings you're meeting with your specialist, okay, a professional like myself, right, which is going to be walking you through, right? You guys are talking, you have questions about the project, you are doing it together. Where you have issues, we are all addressing it on that call. All right. So you are not working with I would say less professional, or you're not working with somebody that is in the same space with you. All right. You're working with a professional like myself. All right. So we have specialists assigned to each of you. All right, each of the cohorts, and then it's handling you guys when you have issues, when you have challenges, you jump on a call. And you always have meetings at least twice, okay? At least twice a week you're having meetings. That time you jump on a quick office hour session with your specialist. All right, just to ensure that you are on the same page and then you're not missing out. You know what you're doing, you're having your reviews back to back. I don't know if I've answered your question. Eniola?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Okay. So let's take the next question. Okay. So let me see whose hand was up first. Okay, Rex. Let's go with Rex. Hi, Rex. Let's hear from you. You can unmute yourself and let's hear you out. Hi, Rex. Okay, I'm not sure, Rex. Rex, if you can hear me, you can unmute yourself and let's hear you. All right, I think Rex is having network issues. He has dropped off. Okay, so let's hear from Bolanle. Hi, Bolanle. Let's hear you out.
Okay, thank you. My question is very brief. I just want to know, you made mention of the fact that there will be so many projects to work on. So I just want to know how the groups will what each project team will consist of.
Okay,
Are we looking
so
at one BA per project team, or are we looking at a group of BA, like 1 or 2, 2, 3, 5 BAs per project team?
okay, so for a start, you're going to work on individual projects. All right, you solidify your skill. We are sure that okay, you can do XYZ, right? Then we move you to working with a group of BAs. All right, where you guys are brainstorming together and working on the project. And after that, we move you to a collaborative project. Okay, so it's like in levels and stages where you're not working with a group of other professionals. All right, so it could be one BA, okay, team of data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, project managers, depending on the program. All right, the project itself. All right, and then there are times that you can actually also 2 to 3 BAs in that particular cross-functional team. So it varies. All right, it actually varies. But like I said, it's always like in stages. It's not going to be mainly you jump in the program, all right, and then you start working on collaborative projects. No, you have to first of all work on individual projects. Okay, we are sure that you can do this thing, you can deliver this thing. All right, you worked on it individually on your own before we now move into group. All right, where you guys are now brainstorming together, you're sharing ideas, okay, among groups of BAs. It could be maybe 5 persons, it could be 6 persons, it could be 4, it could be 3, where you are collaborating. All right, where you're actually brainstorming together. After that, you can now move to collaborating with different other programs based on the project. It could be data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, project managers, as the case may be. All right, so it's always from stages, from one stage to the other. But I don't know if I've answered your question, Bolani.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
All right. So please, guys, I want to believe that's all the questions we have. So if we do not have any other questions, so if you still need clarity, all right, if you feel I still have some questions that I want to ask, I want to meet one-on-one and ask some questions, please, I want you to fill the clarity session link that my colleague is dropping on the chat. So fill the form to actually book for a clarity session where you have to talk to one of our specialists, okay, just for you to ask more questions, okay, and then you get clarity on what you need on maybe a particular program you want to join or any other question. You just need to get clarity, or you're having one or two concerns, okay. And that call is called a clarity session, okay, where you are having to ask. It's just a question and answer session. All right, so please, you can actually click and then book that session. All right, very, very important as well. So please ensure that you book your spot. So this early Black Friday discount, it is very, very exciting. All right, and I want each and every one of us to actually, secure our spot. With less than £100, you can secure your spot. With less than £100, you can secure it. So like I said earlier, it is cheap. All right, it is very cheap compared to when you want to go and shop in Primark. Trust me, those in the UK understand what I'm saying. It is very cheap. All right, so please secure it. Invest in yourself. So you can't move from being a theory-based candidate to being a job-winning candidate when you do not have something to show. And for you to have a deliverable, for you to have something to show, that means you have an experience. And that is what Amdari is here for. All right. And we are not just giving you the experience, we are packaging as well. We have different other packages like I shared earlier. So please, guys, I will want you to lock on your spots. And if you still have questions, please click the clarity form link and then fill the form and meet with our specialists or meet with my colleagues, so that they'll answer whatever questions that you have. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. If you actually enjoyed today's session,